Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, you are on the front page of The Observer this morning, warning that 1 million people may come here from Turkey in the next 8 years, which is strange because very few people expect Turkey to join the EU in the next 8 years.
I think it's very likely that they will, in part because of the migrant crisis. It's escalating and speeding up, Turkey in particular, but other accession countries coming in. The Remain side and Vote Leave agree on much about Turkey and migrant numbers. The Home Secretary herself, a Remainer, made a speech earlier in the campaign that pointed to questioning the merits of the EU expanding and having a land border with Syria, Iraq and Iran.
While your own colleague Boris Johnson, as we just heard, is pro-Turkey joining the EU.
Well, I think you can't... What is dishonest is to say... is to have a policy of expansion and then at the same time deny member states what they need to mitigate the security risk that comes with it. Theresa May herself has pointed to the problems of terrorism and organised crime that is in these accession countries. Where we disagree is on two issues. It's the dishonesty about doing that and then denying us the tools to keep our safe and secure. But it's also that this referendum is going to be our last chance to have a say on that. We're not going to be consulted or asked to vote on whether we think those countries or others should join. So well, they are going to join. It's a matter of when.
The British government does have a veto on Turkey joining, so we don't have to let them join.
No, it doesn't. We are not going to be able to have a say. The British people
I
aren't
thought
going
accession was something that each country could veto if it wanted to.
No, I do not think that the EU is going to keep Turkey out. I think it is going to join. I think the migrant crisis is pushing it more that way.
There's a lot of other EU countries.
What is
I'm sorry to
wrong?
interrupt.
I mean, well,
okay.
just the expansion policy is one thing, but if you're going to pursue that policy, and this is where we disagree with the Remain camp, you have got to allow us the tools to protect our own interests, to protect our national security. That we do not have.
And I just want to return to this business because I'm pretty sure that we do have a veto over stopping Turkey joining if we want to.
Well,
are you sure that we don't?
We haven't. I think with the current situation, the migrant crisis and other issues that are going on in Europe at the moment, that we will be unable to stop Turkey joining.
Just be bullied into it?
I think the British public, this is a matter for the British people, I think, to decide. And the only shot that they will get at expressing a view on this is in this referendum.
But if we don't want Turkey in, we can stop Turkey from coming in.
I don't think that the UK will be able to stop Turkey joining.
There are many other things to talk about. I mean, for instance, this whole issue about Turkey. In my view, it is not remotely on the cards that Turkey is going to join the EU anytime soon. They applied in 1987. At the current rate of progress, they'd probably get round to joining in about the year 3000, according to the latest forecast.
I mean, obviously, Leave are arguing otherwise. Penny Mordaunt, again, just on that other channel, on the Marr show just now, said that she didn't think we had a veto over that. We do have a veto to prevent Turkey joining, don't we? That is right, isn't it?
Yes, the Leave campaign are making a very misleading claim about Turkey. Turkey is not going to join...
So Penny Mordaunt got the veto issue wrong this morning?
Absolutely wrong. Let me be clear. Britain and every other country in the European Union has a veto on another country joining. That is a fact. And the fact that the Leave campaign are getting things as straightforward as this wrong, I think should call into question their whole judgment in making the bigger argument about leaving the EU. Because, I mean, this is very important. They're basically saying, vote to get out of Europe because of this issue of Turkey, that we can't stop joining the EU. That is not true. We can stop Turkey becoming a member of the EU. This is terribly important, though.
It is important, and it's a really
basic...
I completely agree with you. It's an incredibly important point, and it's a really basic point about the EU that we have a veto. She is a Minister of State in your government. Is she frankly, qualified to remain as a Minister of State if she gets something as basic as that wrong?
Well, her responsibilities are in the Ministry of Defence, and she's doing a very good job.
Not
And the Ministry of Defence is doing a very good job.
Fundamental
But on this question of whether or not we have a veto, the Leave campaign are wrong. And so if you consider that this is the whole argument about why we should leave, that really calls into question their judgment, because we have a veto, every country has a veto. And let's be clear, as Boris himself said, Turkey joining the EU is not remotely on the cards. At the current rate of progress, it would be decades, literally decades, before this even had a prospect of happening. And even at that stage, we would be able to say no.
So the row this morning is whether or not Britain has a veto on whether Turkey can join the EU. Penny Mordaunt, a minister in David Cameron's government, said on a rival programme, Andrew Marr, this morning, that we didn't have a veto, but actually the Prime Minister said we did, and I've spoken to EU experts just now. It's here, but it's also on this tweet. This guy, ITV, uses an awful lot. He's very trustworthy. We do have a veto on Turkey joining. The Prime Minister thinks that's a pretty big moment. Perhaps Robert will ask him about it again in a second. Beth Rigby here pointing out as well that the Prime Minister wouldn't attack Boris Johnson.